styling your wardrobe. What you need to do is, if you have a wardrobe full of clothing, but you feel like you have nothing to wear, you may think that the first step is to really declutter your closet. And while I'm all for a good declutter, what I have found, girlfriend, is that so many times if women declutter their closet of all the things that are not working, they often have very little left that is working and they feel even more discouraged. So instead of doing that, we're going to reverse it. And in this video, I'm going to help you figure out what is going to work for you first, help you to put some things in that closet that you love to wear, that you feel fabulous in, and then you can let go of the things that don't. You may be thinking to yourself, that sounds great and I would love that, but how on earth are you going to help me to figure out what it is that is going to work for me? Well, girlfriends, each of us are individuals. Let me first and foremost say that your body, your personal style, you as a woman are unique, and that's what makes you beautiful and fabulous as you are. But in the 20 years of styling women, I have kind of figured out a few things along the way that have been common themes and things that have helped a lot of women just like you. So in this video, we're gonna go through a couple of different questions, get cozy, get your cup of coffee, and let's get stuck in. So firstly, we need to figure out what your personal style is now, okay? And you do have one. You may not feel like you have one. It may not be as stylish as you like, but girlfriend, you still get dressed in the morning and you still choose what you put on your body. But we want to focus on where you are right now. Sometimes we tend to get stuck in the graveyard of what our closet used to be. Our closet can sometimes be a graveyard of the body we used to have, of the lifestyle we used to have, of the life that we used to have. So I'm more interested in who you are now at this time in your life. We're going to deal with body shape later, so don't let all the voices in your head start on you about that. We will deal with that, but for now, let's talk about how to discover your personal style. Now, I've heard a couple of different methods, and some people find it really helpful to create a Pinterest board, to go through Pinterest, look at some ideas, create a board of things that you kind of like, looks that you like. And while for some women this is incredibly helpful, for some women it's incredibly frustrating because we tend to look at a picture and say to ourselves, oh, but I don't look like that, or I cannot get that kind of clothing, or all the internal dialogue. So what I'd like you to do is to start with your own closet. Go into that closet of yours before you start chucking out things and look for pieces that you love. They don't even need to fit you right now. You may not be wearing them right now for all the reasons that you're not wearing them, but I'd like you to go and find some key pieces. Lay them out on your bed, take them out, and start to look for the commonalities. What are those commonalities of the things that you love wearing? It could be a dress that you used to love that doesn't fit you anymore. It may be the print in that you really still love, or the colors that you love. Maybe it's the style. Maybe it's that pair of leather pants that you used to wear that you still really love, but feel like you can't get away with them anymore. It may be a jacket. Maybe you had a power job and you put this jacket on and you felt really good in this jacket. It might even be red. Go and take a look in your closet. First of all, look for the things that you really love, regardless of whether you're wearing them, regardless of whether they fit you, all the things. And then what are the commonalities between the pieces? What can we see that is common? That's what you're looking for. Now, the commonalities could be something like, oh, I really love classic clean lines, but a little bit of color. Or I tend to wear mostly neutrals and feel really comfortable in that. Or I love, like me, an array of color and print, and that is always a commonality. So think to yourself, what is the feeling? I'm less concerned with the actual fabric and the style and the cut. I'm looking at the feeling. What is the feeling feeling that you have when you look at these things? And what is the feeling that you used to have when you wore them? Or if you're wearing them now, what is the feeling that they give you? We're looking for the feeling. Do you get that we're looking for the feeling? There will be commonalities. And if there are not, it means that you have lots of different styles that you really love, which is also fine because you can start to marry them and pull them together. As an example, for me, I really love rock chic kind of edgy stuff. I'm all about it. I love leather, I love studs, I love something edgy. I also really love 70s fashion, kind of psychedelic. I love prints. I love a little bit of that boho chicness, not the sort of boho like huge dresses, but more just like, I love that. I love the colors, I love the prints. And so what I've discovered is that combining them actually is my unique style. So one of the other things that I find, girlfriends, is that there are these quizzes out there that'll say, what is your personal style? And it will give you a list of questions. Personally, I have never been happy with the results of those. I feel like it categorizes me and puts me into a box. I'm not wanting to box you. Rather, what I want to find is that individual kind of personal style, because I want to help you create a look that is going to represent who you are as a woman and who you are now. You with me? So let me say that this process may take a little bit of time, and it's okay that it takes time. Give yourself the time. You may also not like anything in your closet, and if that is the case, then I would suggest that you go into some stores, not necessarily online, but actually just go into a store, even if it's too expensive for you, even if it's not within your budget. Go into stores that you are drawn to. Go into those stores that you normally would never go into. Look around and start to look at what you're drawn to. What are the colors? What are the styles? What is the feeling you imagine you would feel if you wore those clothes? Remember, again, we're going with the feeling. So girlfriend, if all of this is feeling way too overwhelming, wait until the end of the video and I'll tell you on how it can be a lot less overwhelming. So once you've got an idea of what you like and your personal style, now we need to talk about your lifestyle. So what does your lifestyle consist of? Not what it used to be, what it is now. So maybe you were working in an office and now you're working hybrid. Maybe you're working from home. Maybe you have your own business. Maybe you had your own business and now you're working from an office. Maybe you're not working at all. Maybe you're retired. All of those things. Are you the kind of girl who spends a lot of time running your kids around to the various different places? Or are you the kind of girl who really likes to go out with your friends? Or maybe a combination of the two. Maybe you just have quiet dinners with your partner, maybe a few girlfriends, or maybe you love to go to theater and you love to go to live music and you want to go to great restaurants with a bunch of girlfriends. All of those things I want you to consider. Look at the lifestyle that you have now and what are your requirements for that lifestyle. For an example, you may be working hybrid. So you need both items of clothing that are going to make you look good from this up and that you can wear going into the office. You also maybe have kids and need to run around and, do errands and that kind of thing and need to be comfortable. Plus, you want to go out in the evening with your partner and have a lovely romantic dinner or maybe drinks with some girlfriends. How can one outfit or one item possibly do all of that? Well, let me show you how. So this could be your going into work kind of dress, right? It's totally suitable for you to go into work. It also is made out of a stretch fabric, so it's really comfortable. And so you could wear it around the house when you are working hybrid and you still would look good from this up. But maybe you want to be a little more casual. So you tie this in the back, so it is a duster, and put on a pair of jeans and just a simple top. You still can create a professional look from here up, but you feel comfortable. You're wearing your jeans. You can go out and run your kids' errands, do all the things that you need to do, quick and easy, looking fabulous, and still wearing the same item. Now, let's say you want to meet some girlfriends for some drinks, or you're going out for dinner with your partner. You don't necessarily have a huge amount of time to change, but you want to kind of change up your look and go into adult evening feeling mode. Now what? Simply switch out the jeans for some funky leggings or pants. Give it that little fun look. Maybe a metallic shoe could be really fun, and you are ready to go out in the evening feeling like your fabulous self. You see, the thing is, you do need to look at your lifestyle and see what are the different things you need outfits for, so that you can make sure you have things in your closet that will translate and be able to dress up and dress down in an instant. Now let's talk about body shape. And I know that I am treading on sacred ground, because this is usually the area that we as women really struggle with, because we have a whole internal dialogue around our bodies, what we can and cannot wear for all the reasons that we have. Plus, when we start going through body changes, and that can mean we've just had a baby, or we're going through menopause, or we're going through some health crisis, or we're going through something that is changing our bodies, can even be age, we tend to get very panicky around it and get very frustrated with trying to find clothes that work for us. Now, while I understand that we also have different concerns and different needs, and we are also lots of different body shapes, and I'm not talking about an apple, a pear, or a carrot, or whatever the case is, because I don't think we're vegetables or fruit, I have found that there are some very simple principles that help so many different women. And this is over my 20 years of styling women. So I'm going to share with you some very basic principles. You will need to translate this for your own body shape as well as for your own comfort level. But hopefully this will give you something to at least think about. The first most important thing is that baggy clothing with no shape doesn't do you any favors. Okay, so this is not really a fair representation, because this, even though this is fairly loose, it still has got shape the way that it's cut. But for the most part, most times, the things that you wear are so big and so baggy, and often trying to cover up the parts that you don't like, that you end up making your whole body look bigger. If this was a straight block like this, there we go. Can you see what I mean? This is not helpful. So what is very helpful is having things that have got some shape to them, that follow the lines of your body. And as you see, that doesn't necessarily have to mean it's super tight, but look at this, and this brings me to the second one. The second tip, which is, you know I was going to say it. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm going to say it. Defining your waist. And that is really the most important thing that a woman can do for her body. Now, it may look different for different women. It may be not necessarily belting. It may be finding something with more of a cinched waist, like a jacket, like a magic top. But the most important thing is you want to create some definition. Look at how this gets transformed. Take some pieces there. Add a belt. Now, the kind of belt that you wear, maybe you need a narrower belt because you are very short-waisted. Whatever it is, it's absolutely fine, but defining your waist can make such a difference. Why? Why does define your waist? Why do I talk about it so many times? Well, let me explain. It does two different things. First of all, it creates a sense of balance. It actually makes my shoulders and my hips look like they're in alignment. Can you see that? If it is not belted, and specifically for me, this is the case, right? If I'm wearing this loosely, you still can see that there is some shape, but when I take it here, it just takes it to a whole nother level. The print of the fabric also is disguising the tummy, so I hear a lot of women say to me, Tracy, when I put on a belt, it just makes my tummy pooch out. But if you have got printed fabric, it's less likely that it's going to happen. You also need to make sure to belt it high up into the waist. And girlfriend, also, if this is a kind of way too wide for you, you can do a narrower belt, and that will work well. The other very important thing that defining your waist does is that it makes your legs appear longer. Because what happens is that it makes it look like your legs are starting from here as opposed to somewhere down. Let me show you again. If I take this out, and again, this is also a really good, shapely, kind of looser dress, so it's fine to wear it this way, but look at how much longer my legs look if it starts here. Now see the difference. So now my legs look like they actually start up from here. And when we make our legs look longer, it makes us look taller, it makes us look slimmer, and then you're not noticing the tummy. So this is the thing as well, girlfriends, is that so many times we tend to dress to cover up the parts of ourselves that we don't like. In reality, we end up making ourselves look more shapeless and sometimes even bigger than we really are. This is a true story. I've had so many cases where I meet somebody, they come to work with me, and I look at them, and based on what they're wearing, I think that they're a bigger size than they really are. Once we start trying on other clothes, we actually find that they're much smaller than their clothes are making them look. It's just that the clothes are creating such a look that it doesn't work for their body shape and it makes them look bigger. Clothing can do that. Bigger or smaller. It's all an illusion. For the next tip on how to dress for your body shape, we're going to think upside down triangle versus rectangle. So let me explain what I mean, because actually it's very helpful to understand. If you are looking at a rectangle, if your garment, your dress, or whatever it is that you're wearing is very straight and block-like, rectangle-like, it's going to make your hips, your tummy, all the areas that you're not so crazy about, which is generally in this area, right? It's going to make it look wider. However, if we think in upside down triangles, it means that the triangle part is at the bottom, the width is at the bottom, okay? There is greater width at the bottom, and then it narrows up top. Makes it look like this is much narrower in comparison to this. Let me show you again, that versus that. Now, it doesn't have to be super dramatic. You don't have to wear something with huge fullness. You can see that this fabric really just moves with the body. It moves with the curves. But the triangle creates that illusion that it's drawing the eye down the body. That's what we want to create. We want to make this look narrower in comparison to this. Print rather than plain can be a girl's best friend. I know that sounds completely crazy compared to most of the advice that you've actually heard, but print is only ever going to make you look bigger if you're wearing it in something that is completely shapeless and block-like, rectangle-like. That can make you look bigger. However, the triangle shape, A, works, plus print that is disguising a multitude of things. If I was wearing this in a plain fabric, even with the right underwear underneath it, oh my goodness, it will show every single line. Whereas here, you can't see any of that, and I don't have to wear any special underwear for this. Also, what is very helpful is when the print itself actually draws the eye down the body. That creates a very elongated line, and it makes you look taller and slimmer instantly. Again, a huge benefit. So now we've spoken about creating your own personal style. We've looked at your lifestyle. I've shown you some examples of how you can mix and match your clothes to suit your lifestyle. And we've spoken a little bit about body shape. Now, if any of this is completely overwhelming you and you feel, oh my goodness, I don't know where to even begin, then feel free to reach out, because I do consult with women both online and in person. So I will put the details in the description below. Feel free to look at the details. Feel free to reach out to discuss it further. I'll see you soon. Oh, and if you have it all figured out, now you can go declutter your closet.